College is a very exciting time with many new opportunities and new challenges. Students often find that they have difficulty concentrating when they are trying to study. There are a number of factors which can be distracting.
Mainly just a lot of stuff going on in the background is my barrier to concentrating.
Facebook is one of my distractions when it comes to studying. Just general use of my phone is also a distraction when it comes to studying.
Maybe if I'm tired after the practice or too many classes during the day, so that's the last thing I want to do, is just go back to studying.
For me, it's my roommate's noise because they always speak loudly when I study in my dorm.
And for me, if I'm studying the subject that I don't like, I can be distracted by anything.
Mostly my distractions are when you hear people walking in and out of places, and then the other part is normally music or loud noises as well.
Depending on the subject and the content of what I'm studying might make me think about something else.
Concentration is considered to be the focus of attention on information or sensory stimulus coming from the external world. One can also focus attention on internally generated thoughts.
The amount of time an individual can concentrate varies and depends on a number of factors.
Maybe 30 minutes or...
I'm not sure. It depends on the situation and depends on my if I like maybe I like this project. I may do more time on it.
Sometimes I can concentrate sometimes for like 30 or 40 minutes, and then I have to take a break. I know sometime in the evening when I'm studying, when it gets to a point where my anxiety is just like somewhere else, that's my cue to stop.
I guess it depends on the stakes, but given high enough stakes, I could concentrate for, a couple hours on end if I really had to,
The average attention span of a college adult, estimates vary. Research dating back to the 1970s, estimates back then were that it was about 10 to 15 minutes long. More recent research, actually now with a first-person perspective where a student is asked to, in a lecture, press a clicker when they feel that they're being inattentive, this new approach has shown that these inattentive bouts tend to occur very frequently, but they don't last very long, typically not over a minute. And the longer the lecture continues, the more frequent these inattentive bouts become, such that by the end of the lecture, they're only about 2 or 3 minutes apart.
Your brain needs regular breaks in order to form new memories. If you keep studying beyond your regular attention span, then you're going to get neural overload and the information won't stick.
Oh yes, I implement breaks constantly during my study sessions.
I implement breaks that are not too long so that I don't get too completely off task, but have them be long enough to where I relax for just a second and clear my head before I keep going. So when I take breaks, I do things like get up to get a drink of water or get a little snack.
Just every once in a while, every half an hour, just take 5 minutes to take a minute and collect my thoughts, I think they really help my ability to concentrate because it lets me calm down for a second and take a step back and then refocus on the task better when I get back to it.
Breaks actually help me stay focused and stay motivated to actually do my work.
When I take a break, that improves my concentration in that because I've been using a lot of cognitive energy on that one task for a while, I'm able to just kind of relax and save that energy, and then I can then go back and use it more effectively after the break again.
Students sometimes try to work on multiple activities at once.
Do I think multitasking is beneficial to concentration? No, I think it distracts from each task a little bit. I think it's good to focus on each one to make sure they get done rather than spreading it out over a lot of different ones.
For me, yeah, because typically when I do all my homework, I try to do it at the same time and just try to get as much done as possible to keep up with everything.
I think in order to concentrate better, you have to do one task at a time. And I mean, that's for me personally, so I can't really multitask and concentrate that well at the same time.
I think multitasking is generally not beneficial to concentration because it's hard to focus on too many things at once. In fact, I think it's impossible.
How effective is multitasking? That is an interesting question, and there's more recent evidence showing that people are really not more productive when they're multitasking. As a matter of fact, if you do tasks to completion and in a serial order, you're likely to get more done during the day. And it's even been shown that in kids and college-age students, when they're multitasking, they're now engaging different brain regions while they're learning, such that when somebody's asked to recall information later on, they have a harder time doing that on a voluntary conscious level.
You really can only do one cognitive task at a time. If you try to do 2 or 3 tasks at once, like texting your friend, watching TV, and working on your paper, you're actually switching your attention from one of those tasks to the other. That increases the amount of time it takes you to complete all of the tasks. So it's much better if you're to just put all of your attention on one thing, like your paper, then finish texting your friend, and then watch your TV show. You'll get everything done in a much more efficient manner, and you'll also enhance your learning.
In addition to working in short sessions and working on one task at a time, there are a number of things you can do to improve your concentration. There are 3 major areas you can address in order to reduce your distractions: physical, internal, and external areas.
Don't mix like where you sleep with where you study.
Working out in the morning helps a lot.
One of the big things I've tried to do to improve my concentration in the past is to try and get more sleep whenever I can, which is not always easy.
One way to overcome some of these barriers to proper concentration is to take care of one's brain in the first place. Some of these basic things like eating more healthy, getting proper sleep, aerobic exercise, so a healthier brain will allow you to concentrate better.
Sleep is essential for learning. This is when your brain consolidates new memories. Research indicates that when students get a good night's rest before an exam, they do significantly better than those students who pull an all-nighter.
So if I can get excited about something and if it really interests me, then that's when my concentration is the fullest.
Something interactive. So if I'm going through a PowerPoint, I have to be writing something or it just won't process the same way.
Internal distractions include your own thoughts, worries, and daydreams. You can overcome this by keeping a worry pad next to you while you study. Write down any distracting thoughts and deal with these issues after you're finished studying. This will clear out your working memory and improve your concentration.
Another thing is meditation. So if you can learn to meditate, after your meditation bout, you'll find that you're far more focused on what you want to pay attention to.
Well, I usually try to either gather with the same group of people that I usually study with.
The easiest, probably in a quiet environment.
Block everything out and just make time for myself and really buckle down. If I know I have an assignment due tomorrow or next week, take at least 3 hours out of one day, just sit down by myself, lock the door, put on some music and just get to work.
I'm in my room, I shut off the TV, any music, and I don't talk to anybody. I shut off my phone, and I only do that one task, although I have to admit that's very seldom that I do that.
Listen to music mostly because for me, listening to a beat keeps my mind on track and trying to get everything done and just keep it at the same time and pacing.
I love music and I tried studying with music and I realized that I just couldn't pay attention. So I've tried studying by myself in a cubicle, so no distractions, and that helped a lot.
I try to concentrate better by not listening to music, or if I do, I listen to music that's like slower, like jazz or something like that.
It is sometimes beneficial to have some background noise because little small noises can be disturbing. So if you have on a radio or music in the background, sometimes that can help. Television I probably wouldn't advocate in this regard because it has a lot of changes, and changes in the background noise will draw your attention to whatever that change is. So you want to minimize things like that.
A place where I feel most distracted on campus would have to be the JC, a food court in the study area. It's just not the right combination.
I feel most distracted in the lobby of the Performing Arts Building.
Probably the Johnson Center.
Dormitory?
Dormitory.
Yes.
You want to set up an environment which is very easy for you to study in. So somewhere where you're away from a TV, where you're away from a lot of distracting noises, you're in an upright, comfortable chair. It's a well-lit environment where you can do the task that's at hand.
The least distracted place would be either the upper floors of JC or Exploratory Hall or the student athlete building that we have behind the rec.
The library.
The place that I feel least distracted is maybe on the upper floors of the Johnson Center or in my dorm room.
I study in my room mainly, but when that's not working for me and I need a little bit more push, I generally go to Fenwick and use like one of the study rooms or in the general areas.
You can improve your concentration by taking care of your physical needs, controlling your internal distractions, and studying in an environment conducive to learning. Be sure to turn off electronic devices and avoid multitasking in order to get your work done faster.